Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about retail industry in India. So if we talk about introduction, so retail refers to the process of selling goods or services directly to consumers. Consumers may be either business or an household as well. So the retail formats are divided into two portions, or retail formats operate in two portions like organized retail formats and unorganized retail formats. In organized retail formats, it is like mall, complex, shopping centers, uh, where the sales are being accounted for. On the other hand, unorganized retail formats are like kirana wallas or mom and pop stores, which comprises of 81% of the total market share, but it is unaccounted. Now, if we look at retail formats in India or organized way, so these are divided into nine parts. First one is mono or exclusive retail branded retail shops. So these all are like franchisee which operates for a single brand. Like you see a showroom of Levi's or Louis Philippe or any brand, but they sold merchandise of a single particular brand. On the other hand, if we look at multi-branded retail shops, so they deal with various brands under a one roof, like malls, shopping centers, or even departmental stores as well. If we look at convergence retail outlets, so they are omni-channel. They operate in omni-channel nowadays. For getting better reach, every business used to uh, follow this model, like Reliance Digital and Lenskart. So in Lenskart, if you want to purchase an eyeglasses, you can purchase it from their physical store, or you can purchase it from online as well. So those are said to be convergence retail outlets. If we look at e-retail and online retail, so these are like e-commerce players or D2C brand like Boat or Mamaearth, etc. If we look at departmental stores, so departmental stores are the stores which comprises of all the items except groceries and food beverages, and like they are mostly dealing in fashion retails. So they have various departments. For example, if they have a footwear section, they have a clothing section, they have accessories section under one roof. So this is mostly like example, if we look at Pantaloons or Reliance Trend are the good example of this. Now if we look at supermarkets or convenience stores, so convenience stores are mostly like small outlets. They generally deal in grocery and food and beverages and selling goods as MRP such as In and Out or 24/7. Hypermarts includes they are the combo of departmental stores and supermarket because they include fashion and apparels as well as they offer you products such as grocery and food and beverages as well. For example, Big Bazaar or D-Mart. If we look at specialty stores, so specialty stores deals in a special category. Like if we look at Titan, so Titan have two model. Titan have Titan store which deals with the Titan watches. On the other hand, Titan I Plus will deal specifically in eyewear category. If we look at Chroma, so Chroma deals with different brand, but Chroma deal in particularly consumer electronics product. So specialty stores are those stores that operate in a special segment. If we look at cash and carry stores, so cash and carry store is one which is a wholesale shop where where end consumers are not permitted. Only they offer B2B services where registered customer like a trader, licensed trader or other B2B entities like hotel and corporate purchase goods in bulk quantities at discounted rates. So it is a kind of a wholesale model. If we look at markets, metro is also a good example of that. So if we look at market size and key factors in retail, so retail is having a market size of around $836 billion in 2022, and it is expected to reach 1 and 2 trillion by 2025 and 2032. Whereas revenue from online retail is around $70 billion. Online retail means it includes e-commerce and online retail like D2C brands. So if we look at consumer expenditure, So consumer expenditure is around $2.5 trillion in 2022. It is the expenditure made by consumer on final goods and services for their consumption of households or enjoyment, whatever we can say. India ranks fifth in the global destination rank in retail space. So global destination rank is the kind of attractiveness which an investor would get for a particular market. So investors are quietly interested in Indian retail markets, and we have recently seen the example of that by Walmart has invested around $12 billion and purchased Flipkart. On the other hand, Amazon is constantly purchasing and has significant stakes in future group. So if we look at ease of doing business, EODB in India, which is 63 at 2020, which was 69 a decade ago. So the concept of red tapeism is going faded, and this is a good step towards Make in India. Now, if we look at online retail penetration, so online penetration to retail is something that of out of total retail sales, how much sales is derived through online. So online penetration of retail is around 10% only. Now, if we look at online retail million, so 190 millions online retailers are there in 2021, which is expected to reach 500 million. So the more they increase, the more amount of online penetration to retail goes on. If we look at organized retail, so as we all know that the retail is mostly divided into two sectors, organized and unorganized. So organized retail is obviously at nascent states, if because retail sector comprises of 10% of GDP, and retail sector comprises of 10% of GDP. But if we look at the market size of retail, so it is around $836 billion, and if we look at India GDP, it is around 3.5 trillion. So it should comprises of 25% of GDP, or more than 20% of GDP if we exclude some portion, but still it is 10%. The reason being is that the majority of the retail, more around 4 to 500 billion dollars of retail is through unorganized retail, which is unaccounted, which we see in this donut chart, where the retail market organized retail is comprising only 12%. If we look at online retail and e-commerce, so organized portion is only 15 to 20%. On the other hand, 81% is unorganized retail. So that is the reason why retail sector only have 10% of GDP, but it should increase more and more as the digital payment increases. The retailer have to show their unaccounted money through filing a good returns and showing their audited books, which eventually increase the share of organized sector in the retail market. Rising prominence of online retail or e-commerce, as we all know that e-commerce market is around $100 billion, and it is expected to reach 350 billion by 2030, and the GMV is around $60 billion. So again, I have to explain the GMV. What is GMV? So GMV is the gross merchandise value. It is the price which is charged by online retail or website like Amazon or Flipkart from the end consumer, like the price of the goods they charge from the customer, delivery charges, and if any UPI charges. So all three comprises of GMV, which is a part of e-commerce market. And e-commerce comprises of a vast category, like e-commerce includes GMV, e-commerce market includes GMV, as well as if e-commerce receive any services from Meta for advertising of Amazon or for advertising of Flipkart in any e-commerce websites or Meta or Facebook. So that is also included in e-commerce market. That is the reason why GMV is always less than the e-commerce market size. So if we look at online retailers, so online retailers are only delivering 15 to 20,000 pin codes out of 1 lakh pin codes in India. So there is a huge amount of white space available, and the tier 2, tier 3, and tier 2, tier 3 cities are the uh, untapped market and the fastest growing market in retail sector. Now, if we, as we all have studied earlier, that the online shoppers are around 190 million, which are expected to around 500 million in 2030. So it is also showing a space of uh, growth further. Now, growth drivers for retails in India are like India is obviously um, leading the world with the price competitiveness as the prices of rupee decline more and more, the more we are price competitive towards the world, and the competitors, many of the foreign players are using India as a sourcing base for cheap raw materials and cheap products, uh, which they can earn a huge margin. Also, Indian consumers are having a good source of disposable income because the per capita GDP is around 2400 in FY23, which was 2267 in FY22. So also the luxury market is expanding at very rapid pace, and which was if we look at luxury retail market, so it is around $30 billion, which is expected to reach $200 billion by 2030 because of growing income, disposable income, as well as demonstration effect due to social networking sites and other things. So government has given benefit through FDI policy, like wholesale cash and carry trading is having automatic entry route and 100% FDI limit is there. No FDI means entire amount can be through FDI. There is no barrage on that. Now, if we look at single brand retail product retailing is also can also receive 100% FDI limit, subject to some limitations, like they have to procure 30% from internal sourcing or something like that. Also, for multi-brand front-end retail, foreign investment promotion board, they require a foreign investment promotion board, uh, which means that 51% of FDI limit up to 3,000 crores. There is an in foreign investment and promotion board which can allow you to invest through an FDI up to 3,000 crore. Above that, there is requirement from Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs. So in multi-brand retail also there is an FDI limit which was increased to 51%, which was earlier not possible, but there is also a requirement that sourcing should be at least 30% from Indian origin. So with this, I conclude my analysis on Indian retail sectors. I hope you all enjoy this video. Thanks for watching.